Well, hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the other survival world stuff. Just kind of wanted to hop on today. Had some thoughts, had some things I was kind of working on this thing. Um, Recently I've been thinking, ow, good grief. Yeah, I found all these skeleton horses that kind of spawned on me, and sadly they're just a little slower than I would like them to be, and so they're just not very useful. So, there's that. I was going back to like get my stuff and okay, we'll go that way. But yeah, today I wanted to talk a little bit about self-care. Gonna be honest, didn't really want to talk about that. It's a little bit of what's been on my mind. But for the most part, I kind of find that conversation cheesy, especially when I'm in the field. Oh, that's a nice looking cave. Look at that. Like we got, oh, that'll be awesome. Look at that. That's awesome. I wonder what's in there. We'll skip for now. But yeah, talking about self-care. I always find it kind of cheesy because I work in the psych field and whatnot. And so that's what gets preached all day long. Every training you go to talks about self-care and burnout. And it just gets old. It gets old so quick, and it feels hardly relevant. Like, it just feels exaggerated. Like, yeah, self-care, we get it, right? And I kind of hate a lot of that topic because I just rather not think of it. What's the point of self-care? I just need to work all the time. But that's kind of part of the reason why I'm playing some Minecraft today. And honestly, probably why I need to play it more in the future, too, is I'm just starting to recognize that self-care is a little bit more important than I think. So I'm trying to think of how to frame this here, but in a sense, we're all imbalanced. We're all swinging from one side to another. I had ignored self-care for so long because like I do so much and all of it feels like self-care to me because I love everything that I do, but it's all activity. It's just I'm working all the time, working full time, and then I'm coming back working on other projects, and I can't let myself have a break ever. If I'm not working, I'm dying. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like, and I need to work. So why would I ever take a break? Why would I rest? And so I just fill my day with all of these activities, but and it felt useful. I felt useful. I felt like I could do something. I, I mean, everyone else is taking a break and slowing down, and I'm going full speed ahead. I feel pretty proud of myself for that. But when I look at it, man, I just keep getting burnt out. My attention span only lasts for so long on a certain given task, and then my energy only lasts on a certain given task. Look at these beautiful horses that have spawned here. That's pretty cool. We'll go to sleep real quick here. But as I've been thinking about it, just the more that I've recognized if I don't slow down and if I don't force that self-care, if I don't force myself to do something to relax, to calm down, to distract myself from my thoughts, man, I'm going to end up running off a cliff. Like I'm going to be so exhausted and so tired. I kind of overshot this one a little bit. I'm going to go back this way. Yeah, just a tad. But I'm just going to end up so tired if I just keep running at full speed without a stop here or there. And the thing is that's where I'm having to really learn this right now. And anyone listening, you might be able to as well. It's kind of like in the movie Cars, you know? Like, not that movie specifically. It's just the only racing thing that I know about race cars. Darn, do I have any? Oh, I do. Dang, I have lots for this thing. Let's get this dog real quick. There, pets are self-care, by the way. Actually, they definitely can be relaxing and they're carefree and happy as can be, so they can really help you to take your mind off of things like, man, how are you so happy right now? You're not doing anything. Yeah, kind of like a race car, you know? Like they're going full speed, but they still have pit stops. Even if like it feels like it's costing them the race, you know? They're having to like slow down, come to a complete stop, getting the tire change, getting all that. But if they keep going, like I can't remember if what's my mouse being weird? I think I'm latching onto something. But yeah, it's kind of like, if you were to keep going and not to stop, not to slow down, I think I overshot this. But if you weren't to stop or to slow down at all, what's going to end up happening? Darn, I'm really... 1 second. All right, I think we back. A little bit of technical error there, maybe. But if you keep going and if you if you push yourself to the point of burnout, you know, if you're going the extra lap when you know you need to stop because you're like, no, I'm going to catch him. I got to win this race kind of deal. And if you're going, I don't need the pit stop. Oh, what's going to happen? Oh, your car's going to blow up. Your car's going to blow up. You're going to run out of gas. Like, oh, what happened? Oh, what happened was, you know, you didn't slow down when you needed to. You didn't take the break when you needed to so that you could actually refresh and replenish yourself. What were you thinking? What were you doing? You know? And so when you do that, it ends up being just so detrimental to yourself. And that's what you end up hurting. You think you're doing more by going the extra lap, but you're actually slowing yourself down big time when you hit the crash. So you won't feel like slowing down, but maybe you are. And mind you, when I say that, I'm really only speaking to a portion of the population because not everyone has that problem where they're doing way too much like I am and they have problems slowing down and taking a break. This is why I'm playing some Minecraft now so that I can actually force myself to take a break. Except if you can't help but notice, I'm still talking throughout this whole thing and trying to teach lessons and all that. And I can't stop. Like, you can't... you can't stop me from just doing as much as I possibly can. Like, good luck trying to get me to slow down at all. So even then, but hey, at least I'm coercing myself into trying to do this. So progress, right? But that is, you know, the first half. I think it's important to slow down. But on the other end, people will also overdo the self-care, where they're only slowing down. They're only taking a break, and they're not actually getting anything done. Really, I would have you do an honest assessment of where you at with your self-care. What activities are you doing? And then, I mean, really a lot of it's just looking at the activities you're doing that serve... I think there's room for some to be fulfilling. I think there's definitely room to look at activities that bring you fulfillment that are a lot of work. But at the same time, it's helpful just to have activities that bring you not necessarily fulfillment, but at least replenish you so that you can keep doing the work that brings you fulfillment. Just something that doesn't diminish your progress. Kind of like, I mean, I'm playing Minecraft right now. Like, it's not diminishing my progress. It keeps me from moving forward in some aspects, but at the same time, it's very low effort. It's carefree. I can kind of let my thoughts kind of roam around a little bit, and it's kind of nice. It's like putting my brain on a pillow. And it's helpful just to look at activities that don't provide necessarily any productive value, but looking at them as a source of, are they kind of helping your happiness? Do they kind of keep you afloat? Do they help recharge your battery a little bit? But the real thing that I want to get to is sometimes it can be a detriment on the other end of the spectrum. What I mean by that is sometimes sometimes there are people that are swinging on the other end. That instead of doing too much, instead of going all the way, I need to go back this way. Instead of doing way too much, like what I'm doing at times, there are those who spend too much time in self-care. They're spending all day in video games, numbing out, overindulgence. I guess that's a good word for it. But when we talk about self-care, coping skills, whatever, I'd say self-care is the big word that you want to use here. When you look at self-care, the question you should be asking, are you treating yourself like someone that you care about? So, I don't know. You could say it's a family member. You could say your closest friend, whatever, right? But if you were to, if they were to exhibit the same characteristics as you are, if they were to engage in the same activities as you, what would you say to them? What would you look at them? It's like, all right, dude, you're doing way too much. You're going around too much. I can see you're exhausting yourself. You're wearing yourself out. You're working too hard, and you don't need to. Or, okay, maybe it feels like you need to. All right, bro. But how about you take a break for a minute? Not forever. Let's get back to it eventually, because I know that's fulfilling for you. But how about we take a break? Because you're gonna kill yourself over this, and I don't want to see that happen to you. I don't want to see you destroyed by this. So when you're looking at someone that you care about, it's like, oh, I wouldn't wish endless pain and suffering and work upon someone else. I'd wish a lot of it, but not endlessly. I'd be like, no, take a break, enjoy yourself a little bit. There's room for that. But on the other end, imagine that you see someone who maybe they've just been inside all day. They haven't seen the sun. They haven't like gotten anything to eat, or maybe they are overindulging, overeating and stuff. And it's like, whoa, what are you doing there? What are you doing? Oh, darn, my mouse keeps getting like stuck on this stupid stuff. Feels like maybe it's when I jump on my stupid horse. I guess it just glitches it out a little bit. Yeah, this horse is pretty fast. Look, I got a dog. I have another dog somewhere too. I need to find him again. Where did I leave him? I left him by a cave. You did? Dang. I need to go find that thing. Oh, I know where it's at. Follow me, dog. Yeah, kind of where, but yeah, so imagine that a close friend of yours, just happens to be stuck, happens to not be doing much, just kind of lethargic, moping, you know the behaviors. Maybe hasn't showered in a while, and you're going, bro, it's time to get you out of the house. What is going on with you, dude? Get dressed, change your shirt, put on something. Like, dude, take care of yourself. Let's go out for a walk. Let's go engage in some activities, and let's go do something, right? It's like, let's change up the behaviors because what you're doing now isn't very helpful. And so, really, man, my mouse is just, one second. Oh, okay. I think my mouse was getting stuck on some kind of stupid pop-up for hackers or something. Anyway, but yeah, if you were to see someone who's such in a lethargic state, it's like, dude, let's get out. Let's go walk around. Let's go to the mall. Let's go somewhere. Let's do something. It's kind of a push-pull dynamic. If you are over-engaging in just kind of self-pleasure, kind of lethargic behaviors, just kind of chilling out way too much. You're slowing down way too much and not doing anything super productive or engaging your body or engaging your mind. It's like, yo, let's put some activity in there. Let's get you moving. Come on, grandma, let's go. Like, you want to take care of yourself. Like, if you have a dog that's been cooped up all day, you're going, hey, it is time to get you out. Let's get you moving. Let's see what's going on. Like, come on. Let's go explore a little bit. Let's go run. Let's go do something. Like, you're engaging them in activity because that's actually what's going to be helpful for them in the future. It's going to make them feel better. And that's what self-care really is. It's kind of finding that push-pull balance where gosh darn it, I hate the work-life balance stuff. I think part of it's I just don't believe in a lot of that. I mean, I think it's per person, and that self-care is going to look different per person. I think there always has to be a balance. That's what it seems to be. It seems like you cannot burn yourself out to death. You cannot work yourself to death and that be okay. It's almost rarely a suitable solution. Like, some people can get away with it quite a bit, but and maybe some people less than others. Some people need more rest than others. Some people can go without it. I don't need as much sleep as most people, and I'm fine. And I can work more than most people. But is that healthy to go all the way? No, there is still some balance, even if it's 90-10, 95-5, whatever ratio you want to put that at. There's still a level to where you need that balance. You need a little bit of self-care. And on the other end, you need a little bit of activity. And honestly, I'd encourage you, everyone is made to work. Everyone is made to do something. You'll find that when people are kind of near retirement, that is where they start to lose themselves again. Like, you think retirement's going to be a great thing, and then it happens, and you're like, what do I do? What do I do with my life? Who am I? Gosh darn horse in the water. I hate these things. The skeleton ones just drop straight down. That's awful. Get over here. Get over here. Dang it. Okay. But a lot of people lose themselves at retirement. They won't know who they are. They won't know what activities to do anymore. And it can lead to a lot of depression, just not knowing who you are and kind of losing that. It's like we're always made to work. Like, it's kind of hard to believe that in your old age you'd still be made to do some work, but you still have a role, and you still have a role to fulfill in society, not to just wither away in the corner with all this wealth. You know, you're meant to give back. It's kind of the story of the wise old mentor and whatnot that's supposed to train up the younger youth. You know, it's the elders that are the ones telling the stories and whatnot, and are rather the inspiration for a lot of the younger generation. So there's a sense of giving back, but just in a different way. Not so much with the manual labor, but with kind of a more verbal instruction and wisdom. That ends up being more so the role, is mental strength rather than physical. So we are all called to work. We are all called to work, but there is a sense where we must rest. I suppose this is also a biblical concept as well, of just you look at the Garden of Eden, you look at creation and whatnot, and there were 6 days of creation. And on the 7th day, God rested, not because he was tired, but because he wanted to instill that embodiment of rest, of ceasing the work. That there is a day, you're not meant to work every single day, but look at that ratio. It is 6 to 1. 6 days you work, 1 day it's off. I think the Israelites would work 6 years and then they'd have a Sabbath year. They didn't end up following it, but it was a year where you weren't supposed to do any work. You were supposed to let the fields rest. And of course, they went and overdid it. They, for like a period of like 500 years, they would skip these Sabbath years so that they could keep working and bring more crops. And I'm sure it wore out the crops, but then again, it was in direct disobedience to their God, and so they were punished for it. So, for those of you that can't help but keep working, it's like you need to take that break or you will destroy yourself in the process. It's kind of the lesson you got to learn there. So, there is that balance in everything. So, that's really what I've been trying to learn, and I think this is something I'm giving myself. I don't know if I'm just going through the Minecraft nostalgia period or something, or what, and that's what's bringing me back to this game. But I'm trying to use it as an excuse for some self-care here and there, so I'm not completely burning myself out with just excessive work. It's time for me to learn to take a break from time to time. Even if I'm talking the whole time, this at least feels more relaxing for me. Like my mind is... I'm kind of zoning out just on one thing. I'm not pacing around, moving around everywhere like I usually do. My body can rest a little bit. And these are things that are just kind of on my mind. It helps me to process some things. So, is this a form of self-care? I would argue that it is. I would argue that it's refreshing and more of a low-maintenance activity that's not completely destroying me at the same time. So, this is something that I'd be interested in continuing just to even help my self-care. So, I'd encourage you, find what your coping skills are, what your self-care activities are, the things that bring you fulfillment and the things that are purely relaxing. Sometimes those will overlap, but look at your activities and genuinely assess where your work comfort balance, work care balance, pleasure pain balance, one of those balances, right? But genuinely and honestly assess where you are with each of those so that you can more accurately define maybe where you're at, what areas you could improve. Doesn't have to be 50-50. In fact, I'd encourage it not. Do whatever you feel like is, whatever is appropriate for you, whatever feels helpful for you, whatever helps you to lead a better life. If you feel like, man, I have been overdoing it. Oh, and I haven't been doing some of the self-care. Maybe it's time to start adding in some of that self-care, right? And then if you have been overindulging and numbing out with video games and YouTube videos for hours a day, if you're on a rabbit trail and you're getting down to this one, you're like, what in the world? What am I doing? Like, take a break and go do something that is productive, that is fulfilling for you. Get over here, dogs. I need some pups. There we go. Breeding a wolf army over here. There we go. Aw, that's cute. All right, you guys stay put because I'm tired of you following me around. But yeah, honestly assess where you're at, what you need to include more of, and start applying it. I think you'll notice that once you bring it to more of an equilibrium that you're happy with, you might find more fulfillment. By resting, I have more energy to do the work that I want to do. And maybe that'll lead to me having more fulfillment and burning out less and crashing less. So maybe Minecraft is helpful, right? Oh, good grief. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap this one up. Hope you enjoyed. And do some self-care. Do some self-care, or actually, I guess if you're watching this video, go undo some self-care and go do something productive instead. Don't waste your time. Don't be a dummy, okay? All right. Well, love you guys, and I'll see you later.